When you save on auto insurance for driving safe with USAA Safe Pilot, you'll feel like a big deal, even in a traffic jam. Save up to 30% with USAA Safe Pilot. Restrictions apply.
The Shark Deck.
Friends, it's a great time to be alive. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your Daily Comedy News. Johnny Mac, why is it a great time to be alive? Well, great question. Here's the answer. Friday, we get a new Adam Sandler movie. Isn't that exciting? Yes. Now, as you know, there are only 4 good Adam Sandler movies. They are Uncut Gems, Hustle, and the 2 with Drew Barrymore. But luckily for everyone, Murder Mystery 2 is out on Netflix on Friday. Now, Jennifer Aniston wants to next level this thing. She plays Sandler's wife in Murder Mystery and Murder Mystery 2, but she recognizes that it's Drew Barrymore that can make Adam Sandler films good. So she suggests the 3 of them do a film together. Can you imagine? Aniston said, "We thought it'd be funny because it was a Twitter thing a couple years ago, and they're always sort of comparing us. Yes, I'll do that right now. Is Drew Barrymore in the movie? Yes, then it's good. Is Drew Barrymore not in the Adam Sandler movie? It's likely not good, unless it's, of course, Hustle or Uncut Gems." Anyway, Aniston said, they're always sort of comparing us. Who's the better movie wife? Barrymore. Or movie love? Barrymore. So we just thought we'd do a little bit on that. Mark Twain Prize winner Adam Sandler said, Jennifer's going to write it. There's no competition, just 2 great ladies. That would be amazing, doing a movie all together. She says Aniston made playing a married couple comfortable. She doesn't miss. She's funny. We lock in together. We do love each other. And calls Aniston one of the funniest people I know. Some of the other funny people that Adam Sandler knows are Rob Schneider and Kevin James and Maya Rudolph. Yeah. Bonnie Macfarlane has a scripted series based on her memoir, You're Better Than Me. The project is inspired by Macfarlane's time as a high schooler in Cold Lake, Alberta in the mid-1980s. She will serve as the creator and writer for the half-hour series, which takes place on a farm 294 kilometers outside the nearest pizza delivery zone. There, a 16-year-old Bonnie flexes her smart mouth, hangs out with her BFF Bovine, and recognizes that she's not the easiest person in the world to get along with. Neither she nor her cow are part of the in-crowd. Bonnie is desperate to escape her farm and see the world. There's just one thing stopping her, herself, and a bunch of other stuff. She says the project is a testament to the first person that believed in it. If not for Anthony Bourdain, I would not have been forced to write about my past. What a joy it's been working with the amazing team at Cineflex, revisiting the most embarrassing period of my life. Very interesting. Sam Morril talked to Yahoo about being interviewed on David Letterman's That's My Time, and he said, Dave's somebody I've always looked up to. There are a few people that can do what he's done in history. He's an icon. I feel fortunate to be able to be interviewed by him at this time in his career. It's cool that he's really that interesting and that curious. A lot of interviewers aren't like that. It was surreal to be on Dave Letterman's show with him asking me about my rooftop parties. Sam says it's good to start comedy young because you're too young to know how hard it is. It's different when you take your act beyond friends. It takes a minute. You have to learn how to be funny to strangers, but there are advantages to doing it in New York. You don't know what you're up against with other comedians. You hope other comedians will give you the benefit of the doubt to get better, and it did get better. There's a bluntness New Yorkers have, an energy that New Yorkers have. New Yorkers are always ticked off. And I love this next part. I was watching The Taking of Pelham 123. I assume he means the original recently. And I think I love that movie so much because everybody's in a bad mood. All the blue-collar workers, the mayor, everyone's ticked off. And there's something really united about that feeling. But he also says, I love Boston. It's a beautiful city. There are a lot of similarities between New York and Boston. The people in Boston are funny people. They're funny. There's a cynicism to Boston people I really like. They can be mean and warm at the same time. Marc Maron made some headlines on music websites because he referenced the band Tool last week and said, their music has to be planted young, dude. If it wasn't planted in my weird, angry adolescent head, that's where it happens, but I missed all that. So there I was, like in my 40s, listening to Tool. But they were comedy fans. They were Bill Hicks fans. There's a painting of Hicks on one of their records. But apparently he doesn't like Tool because he got into them too late. Bill Maher went in on the Hollywood Nepo babies. These are the children of famous people that somehow get gigs in Hollywood. Oh, there are a lot of them. Maher said, doesn't make them bad people or untalented, but let's also admit they weren't the only ones who could have done it. So enjoy the good life, Nepos. Just don't say you didn't have a big advantage. This is show business. Getting your foot in the door is 80% of it. He said, yeah, there are difficult roles, but since children, Vin Diesel, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steven Seagal, and even Bill Maher can act, it's not nuclear physics. He says, sports is different. In sports, there are no Nepo babies. Layla Ali didn't knock out 21 opponents by smacking them with her birth certificate. Dana Dute said, intermittent fasting is here to stay. It's making me lose friends at a fast clip. I can't stand the odd food windows they give themselves. Hey, Dan, let's meet for lunch at 3:48 p.m. I'm going to order on the drive over so the food is ready when we get there because I haven't eaten since 6:36 p.m. last night. I have 12 minutes to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They show up all jittery from 15 cups of uncut black coffee. Good to see you. Now, don't make eye contact with me as I dislocate my jaw so I can shove a stack of pancakes, a ribeye, and 12 cannoli into my gullet. You have 3 minutes to talk to me before I go into a deep sleep for 14 hours so my body can digest the 10,000 calories I just savaged. This is the key to living a longer life. Who wants to live like that? The trailer for My Name is Monique is out. The special will appear on Netflix April 4th. Some of the things in her trailer, and I'm going to have to really paraphrase and clean this up here. Use your own imagination, and what is in your imagination, I'll leave that between you and your dirty brain, friends. In My Name is Monique, we'll get a greater understanding of her as a person, okay? A story about being put in a straitjacket, okay? The advice she received from her grandmother about, doing things. Yeah, I'm making you wait. I'm drawing this out. Doing things with a mouth. Oh, you dirty brain. Look at what you're thinking. Well, you're right. That is the topic. Her disdain for bullies and a clear definition of what it means to be a white person. She says, this is going to be some special.
Welcome to How to Tickle Yourself. I'm your host, Duff McDonald.
And I'm your co-host, Matt McButter. We'll be talking to people who specialize in different ways of inhabiting their own consciousness, from artists to yoga teachers to scientists. We've even got a professional magician.
We're going to ask them questions like, what is consciousness? Why does it tickle? And what is magic anyway? Is it just card tricks, or is it the fact that your little speck of consciousness is part of a perfect possibility machine?
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and at storicmedia.com.
If you like what I do here, one way to support the show is go to Apple Podcasts, and they're going to put this option in front of you to become a premium subscriber. Why don't you test drive it for free for a month, and then if you like it, you can sign up, and for $5 a month, you'll get the episodes ad-free and early. Most days by early, I mean the afternoon before the official release, although if I'm working in advance, sometimes you'll wake up, like you'll wake up yesterday, and have today's episode. I had a pre-tape today. I was having a little routine medical procedure yesterday. So either A, I'm fine and I'll see you tomorrow, or B, this is the last episode ever. Tune in tomorrow to find out. From comedy.co.uk, Alfie Brown has apologized for a historic stand-up routine in which he used racist language. Video of the routine from 2015 in which he says the N-word has been circulating on social media, so he readdressed this. In the 2-minute clip, Brown reflects upon the origin and use of the N-word, the creation of racial slurs, and the nature of offense. In a statement on Twitter, he wrote, I agree with all the criticism of the video being circulated and apologize unreservedly for the abhorrent racial language I used. It was recorded in 2015, and years ago I realized my mistake, made every attempt to remove it, not because I was scared of it being found, but because it was wrong and hurtful. I was ignorant. It was a young comedian's arrogant attempt to be transgressive, as the routine's intention was to be anti-racist. But it was stupid. I regret it. And I've regretted it for a long time. It became clear to me that using the language wasn't ever justified, even if trying to undermine it. I've never suffered racism, and now years later this material is causing pain to the people who have. I apologize deeply for it. Comedian Nabil Abdul-Rashid appeared alongside Brown at the Forge Comedy Festival last week and tweeted, not gonna lie, it's very fortunate for you that you weren't doing this material when we gigged together on Saturday. WTF. I genuinely am sick and tired of these guys thinking because they can dress this stuff up in faux intellectualism, it's okay to say this stuff. He knows very well he couldn't do this in front of an audience when even a handful of black people or Asians were present. Brown had addressed the bit before, saying, I wanted to do a bit about modern slavery, and slavery is more offensive than the word. The fact that you were shocked by the use of the word, everybody should be more shocked by modern slavery, the myriad ways in which modern slavery takes place. But the fact that we all react to a word, and I have no idea about the individual pain that it caused, but I essentially, in terms of modern slavery, I just chose to offend people with the word to highlight the horror of something I felt was more important than just a reaction to language. This week on the CW, it's the Great American Joke Off. Dulce Sloan is your host. The panelists include Ed Gamble, Tom Allen, Milton Jones, Glenn Moore, and Reese James. On the Great American Joke Off, comics trade wisecracks and one-liners in a series of fast-paced rounds. Some American comics in the Great American Joke Off include Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero, Joe List, and Mark Norman. That's pretty good. Producers say the teams are tested on their skill in everything from crafting joke setups, creating punchlines, and providing photo captions to performing solo spots, dropping risque innuendos, and ranting about life's petty irritations. All right, I might have to check that one out. Schmigadoon is coming back for Season 2. Season 1 often parodied the golden age of musical theater. Season 2 is heading forward in time, and they wind up parodying things like Chicago, Sweeney Todd, Cabaret, Sweet Charity, and Hair. That should be fun. Your stars, Cecily Strong and Mac Packer Keegan-Michael Key. The Melbourne Comedy Festival continues. Steve Hill is bringing the Sexy Environmentalist to the festival. The Sexy Environmentalist is a high-octane mix of environmentalism and sexiness. Well, that makes sense. In a last-ditch effort to unite humanity and save the planet with the thing that's kept humans in existence, sex. Time's running out, but according to Steve, the Green Movement has its tactics all wrong. We're not going to change the world by making people feel guilty about their life choices. Instead, we need to make it sexy. Now, normally, at this point, I would take a look at the Melbourne Comedy Festival and suggest some shows that we might see if we were there, but I've tried loading the Thursday schedule 5 times, and no matter how many times I load it, it pops up Wednesday's schedule. I even went in and manually changed the URL to put the right date, and it still took me to the wrong date. So I don't know who's playing tonight, so let's not go. That's your comedy news for today. File the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. See you tomorrow, or maybe not.
Hello, I am Mark Francis, host of Palace Intrigue, the podcast that delves into the daily drama of the British royal family. These short daily episodes cover the latest news and scandals involving the likes of Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Kate Middleton, King Charles, and the rest. From backroom sources to public controversies, we've got you covered. Whether you're a long-time fan or just curious about the royals, Palace Intrigue is the perfect podcast for you. So join us as we explore the lives, legacies, and dramas of the British monarchy. Subscribe now and never miss an episode of Palace Intrigue.